What would you do if your phone buzzed in the middle of the night, and it was the last message you would ever receive from someone you loved? Tonight, we are diving deep into a case that shocked not just a quiet neighborhood, but an entire state. It's a story of love turned toxic, of a young woman whose future was ripped away just weeks before she was to become a mother. Before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a case we cover here on Crime and Mystery Vault, where every story we tell brings you closer to uncovering the darkest truths. The night everything changed. Alton, Illinois. It was just after midnight on a calm June night when security cameras captured a man quietly leaving a small apartment building. He carried a white laundry basket, casually walking down the street before disappearing behind a local smoke shop. No one could have guessed what was inside that basket, not until the next day, when a construction worker made a horrifying discovery in a nearby dumpster. He later recalled, "When I opened the dumpster, I saw clothes scattered everywhere, and then I noticed a pair of red shoes with blood on them. My stomach dropped." That same afternoon, a woman named Heidi arrived at her daughter Lisa Dodd's apartment. Lisa, 22 years old and 8 months pregnant, had not responded to messages in over 15 hours. Heidi unlocked the apartment herself, and within minutes, her world shattered. She stepped back outside, visibly shaking, and made a chilling 911 call. "My daughter's gone. She's been killed. She's been decapitated." When police arrived, they found Lisa's lifeless body in her bedroom, her head missing, the bed soaked in blood. It was one of the most disturbing scenes first responders had seen in years. Who was Lisa Dodd? Lisa was born and raised in Alton, a small town just outside St. Louis. Friends remember her as compassionate, fun-loving, and full of dreams. At just 10 years old, Lisa held a fundraiser for an animal shelter instead of asking for birthday gifts, a glimpse into the kindness that defined her personality. She graduated high school in 2017, worked at Dairy Queen, and saved every dollar with plans to enter the medical field, just like her mother. In June 2022, Lisa's life seemed ready for a new chapter. She was just weeks away from welcoming her baby girl, whom her family lovingly nicknamed Baby Bean. Invitations for her baby shower had already been sent, but behind her warm smile and her excitement about becoming a mother, Lisa's life was anything but peaceful. The dangerous relationship Lisa had been in, an on-again, off-again relationship with 22-year-old DeAndre Holloway for nearly 2 years. Friends, family, and even Lisa's boss had seen signs that the relationship was abusive. Her employer recalls seeing her show up to work with bruises and black eyes, often making excuses about her dog accidentally injuring her. Once, her boss even witnessed DeAndre punching her in the face during an argument. Lisa had ended up in the hospital after one violent episode where DeAndre allegedly broke her nose. But despite everything, she always returned to him. Just days before the murder, DeAndre disappeared without warning. Lisa texted her mother, worried that he had left for good, but also relieved that at least this time, he hadn't hurt her. Heidi tried to reassure her, saying, "Maybe this is your chance to finally be free." But freedom wouldn't come so easily. The last hours on June 8, Lisa received word that DeAndre was being brought back by his uncle. CCTV cameras captured Lisa picking him up that night and the couple returning to the apartment at 9:11 p.m. That was the last time Lisa would ever be seen alive. By 10:49 p.m., Heidi sent her a text. "You okay?" There was no reply. Shortly before midnight, cameras recorded DeAndre leaving the apartment twice, carrying a laundry basket both times. He had changed clothes and covered his face. Minutes later, the basket, later confirmed to contain Lisa's severed head, was seen being tossed into a dumpster, covering his tracks in the early hours of June 9. DeAndre appeared at his family's home, driving Lisa's car. He was nervous, pacing, and later locked himself in the bathroom to cut off his long dreadlocks, something he hadn't done in over 2 years. He handed Lisa's ID and bank card to his grandmother and got rid of the clothes he had been wearing that night. By midday, he left on foot, saying he was going to cut grass. By then, police were already on their way to Lisa's apartment. The horrific discovery: when officers entered the apartment, they were confronted with an unthinkable sight. Lisa's body lay on the floor with a towel wrapped around where her head should have been. There was no murder weapon at the scene, and no sign of Lisa's head, confirming what Heidi had already feared. This wasn't just a murder. It was a brutal act meant to erase Lisa's dignity and destroy her family's peace. The investigation police quickly named DeAndre Holloway as the prime suspect. His actions, his attempts to change his appearance, and his possession of Lisa's belongings all pointed to one horrifying conclusion: he had murdered his pregnant girlfriend and disposed of her head. Neighbors told police they had heard arguing and loud noises from the apartment earlier that night. Not unusual for the couple, but this time, it sounded much worse. Justice for Lisa DeAndre was eventually arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 for Lisa and 1 for Baby Bean. The community of Alton was left devastated. For many, the loss was personal. One neighbor summed it up perfectly: "We didn't just lose Lisa. We lost that baby too. That was 2 lives gone." Closing thoughts: Lisa Dodd's story is a painful reminder of how dangerous abusive relationships can become, and how quickly they can turn deadly. If you or someone you know is in a violent relationship, please reach out to local authorities or domestic violence hotlines. Lives can be saved before it's too late. And if you found this case as haunting as we did, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Crime and Mystery Vault for more true crime cases and chilling mysteries. Your support helps us bring awareness to victims like Lisa.